Okay, hi everybody. I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings, and we are continuing on with my summer series here. I'm on the Sagittarius male. So I take 4 different decks, and I go from tarot, love, and sex. And then we get into the energies. This is about romance, so to help you in that area, right? Love and romance. Sometimes it goes off in other areas, so we'll see what happens here. And then I take 3 male, female like cards to kind of over blanket the whole thing and give you kind of what the energies are from an expanded point of view. So general overview, right? So I'm going to start right off here. First, I want to, my friend, she makes this jewelry. It's awesome stuff. Check her out. I got her link below here. It's ESYFLORESY, I think is the way you say it in Polish, but it's, again, the pronunciation. So she is from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and she has a awesome Facebook page. You can look at all her stuff that she's made. She displays it in a video, actually. Shows you all the intricacies, because this camera ain't going to do it justice. Like all these little beads here are individually wound. So it's a very intricate work that she's done. And I mean, this is just one style of thing that she's put out. So have a check at her work. She does a good work and puts out a good product. So super duper cheap. So check her out. And if you want something unique and one of a kind, that's the place to get it. So she does jewelry and that whatnot. So check that out. I will have her information below. And if you want it instantly, you go to my other videos. I have the link to her Facebook page. You can check out things there. Okay, so for the Sagittarius male, here we go. We're starting in a mode here. The first card that I get for the general overall energies is organization. A lot of these males are getting into that zone, right? They're organizing things, feeling pushed by the universe to organize, rearrange, and compartmentalize things. So that is the energy that they're being driven from for the summer. Then I have renewal. So I feel like this organization is going to give them, once they get in gear here, and, whether it's the basement or the garage or office or whatever it is, there's that sense of organizing. They're going to have a sense of renewal once they get that done. And they're feeling a big push by the universe instinctively to do this. So that will create some new, fresh energy, okay, to kind of stir things up in an energetic way. And then we have travel. So summer, right? We're going to travel. So some of these Sagittarians, I mean, they are the guys that like to travel. They like their freedom, right? So they like to be able to come and go and not be restricted. So in the summer, they feel more apt to do that. So these are the general areas that are over the whole thing. And then as I move into the tarot cards, we get more into the personal side. So they're in an organization mode, and once they do and get into there and make progress, they're going to have a sense of renewed energy. And through that, they're going to go out and travel. And that's going to, there's a sense of freedom there as well, right? Being able to do that. So I feel like some of these Sagittarians are in a real good place where they get to do that quite frequently. So this is not out of the scope, right? It's part of the plan for the Sagittarius male. Now, the first card we get with the general tarot energies is the Temperance. 14. So I remember from my readings of the past, Sagittarian male, temper. So we're still having temper problems. We're blowing off steam in the wrong areas. They're going totally the wrong areas. We're blowing off on our partner about things at work, and we're blowing off at work about things somewhere else. So we need to take a checkpoint here and look at what we're blowing our steam off at, because it's not in the right direction is what they're saying. Put it in its place. Don't spout negativity everywhere. Put it where it's supposed to be. Okay? That's what they're kind of going like, we should be doing this. And then we get the Three of Wands, which is looking forward. So they're temperamental, and they're also in an energy of looking to the future for things. I'm getting a sense because the present is not pleasant, right? So we're in a mode here where we're kind of looking to the future for help, but yet nothing's coming in that way. No. The next card we get is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is about using our intuition. And I don't know the Sagittarian male is tapped into that. Okay. We're in our temper mode. So we're in a negative frame here, low frequency energy. We're looking to the future because that gives us hope. Well, things can change in the future. And our instinct is sitting there, and I'm feeling like the greater part of it, we're not listening. And that's what's brought us to this temper place. Okay. And we're looking for things outside of ourselves to fix that, but we need to look at things inside of ourselves to fix that. And that's why I'm thinking that the Sagittarian here is just not keying into his instinct in that way. We end up with the Four of Cups, or we have a situation where we are listening to our instinct, but we do not want to take action in that way. That does not suffice. We do not think it should go that way. Therefore, we're not going to, because this is the High Priestess, the intuition, it could be secrecy, but I feel more highly tuned to instinct here for the Sagittarian male. There's instinct coming forth. Like, look at it disconnecting. And she's even, her body language is kind of going in that direction. And that's a symbol of the Sagittarian male going, no, that's not a good solution. That's not what I think. But yet the universe knows from all angles what will work here, but they're not wanting to accept it. It's not, they're disregarding it. Okay. They're getting their instinct, they're hearing it, and they're disregarding it. So it's not that they're not hearing it or not getting a hold of it. They're just disregarding it. It is not the way they want to go. So they're being stubborn about it, really. And it's full on instinct. So we're having a battle with our instinct here. Maybe not a battle. We're just disregarding it altogether. Getting it loud and clear, hoping for different things, but in a negative mode. So that really jumbles up the energies here. It makes it hard, not only to get in, right, but to be accepted. So we're coming from the universe's standpoint here. It's like, yeah, we're being rejected on all levels here. 911, we're not getting through. Something's wrong. So that's the general energy that they're working from here. We got some anger issues. We're looking to the future for hope, and we're disregarding our instinct any way, shape, or form it comes at us. And we're trying to, there's other things, there's other agendas here, and it has to do with anger. Okay. Then we get for the next level here, we get the Nine of Swords. So that's anxiety, fear, stress, right? So when we're not following or we're disregarding our instinct, we're going to feel that more highly. That's going to come out in the form of anxiety, stress, and sleepless nights. So we're worrying and stressing because the answers are here, and instinctively, deep, deep, deep down, the Sagittarian doesn't want to admit that he's a deep person, but he can be. He's going, no, I'm disregarding that. That's not going to do me any good. Meanwhile, he hasn't tapped into it to figure if that is going to do him any good or not. He's just using a blocked door, right? A shut door. So this is creating anxiety within the system. Okay. Now the Seven of Pentacles is about working. So I get a sense they're working hard. And this is a reflection on the anxiety as well. We got some anxiety here. They're working hard in a certain direction that is opposing the intuition. So meaning that we're going in the opposite direction of our intuition. And we're working hard to go in that direction. And the more that we work, the more anxiety we get. But we're not realizing, we're not connecting the two. It's kind of a stubborn, no, I'm going. I don't care. I don't care. Not believing that following that instinct could help them out, really is what it is. Then we have the Tower, and that is that is what happens when we don't follow our instinct. Then the Tower comes down, smashes things apart, and says, there it is in black and white. We have an issue here, and you're not listening to your instinct to saying, yeah, do this. And they're going, nope, I'm not going to do that. Nope, not listening. And now, they're in the midpoint here where they're getting the intuition saying, if we don't do this, something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. And then they're going, I don't care. I'm working hard and I'm going to build this. But I feel like they're building on the wrong side. They're building on the wrong side of faith here. And then the Tower comes in to straighten things out. And along with that, we get this. That feeling of being stabbed in the back, the feeling of, I'm going like disappointment, but they're going disappointment to the highest degree, where a lot of this is coming back on themselves. So all these swords here, they're going to just flip and go right into their own back. It's like they're creating, in a sense here, they've created this from not listening to the wise judgment within their own mind, no less, because they're going, this has been rolling around in their mind for a long time, and they just not listened. So now the situation is turned and they have to do this. They're bound by this at this point. It was easier. Could have been an easier process in the past, could have done more in the past. Now they only have one road, and it's the hard one. Okay, so the Ten of Swords is that feeling of being stabbed in the back. There's something here. They had an instinct all along. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. It doesn't matter. I can turn it around. And the universe is going, you better get out of there. You better get out of there. What do? They stay. And what do they get? Stabbed. And they're like, I knew it, and it's all this stuff, but we had the instinct, so why didn't we run with it, right? So they're taking a beating and they're on the ground here. So this is the path we're going. As we get into the love side of things, okay, we get the Knight of Pentacles, and this is him trying to be, this is the energy he's trying to be, right? He is a fire sign. So that's that, anger, in here, he's bringing a lot of anger and trying to cool himself down. But this is the energy he wants to be in. He wants to be solid, stable financially, cool-headed, right? But they're going, we're stuffing things, not dealing with it. We're cutting things off, not, doing it in a constructive way. We're doing it in a non-constructive way. So we're really opposing all of the right ways here. So this is not good, because this is the energy they want to go into. And this is what comes down. Now, when we're talking about relationship here, and I feel like in this energy, he's thinking about work and stability and life. He's really, the partnership is not to, to the foremost in his mind. It's not the first thing he wants to think about, okay? Now, we have a situation here where this is the sign of a duel. So we may have a situation here where, and I get this is an undercurrent, okay? They're going, we have a marriage of convenience here somewhere, okay? And that marriage of convenience is coming out of the fact that we exist here, and neither one of us are invested overly to a degree. Now somebody wants something different. Now, give me a minute here. Yeah, there's a sense here. This is kind of either, oh, we'll go to the next card. Look at this. We go from, like they said, this is the energy he wants to encompass. He's not. It's like he's here. So this is the Knight. He's not yet a king. So the mature male. This is the Page. He is not yet a knight, the mature male. Okay, so or even close to it. So we're dealing, there's a situation here having to do with a romantical kind of thing, where we want to be footloose and fancy free. So we may have some people who are in a relationship, but it's not anything that is passionate or even like a business type relationship. Okay. This is what I'm getting. So this person is very footloose. They're very free to do whatever they want. Okay. Now it's starting to enter this Sagittarian male's mind that maybe I want to go off in a different direction here. Maybe I want something more. I don't know. So he's starting to flirt with that idea. Usually this is kind of said and done, and then there's a discussion between an option here. So in other words, it would be a situation where, oh, maybe we had an evening with someone else other than our partner, and then it comes back to the partner, and then they deal with it and hash it out. But I don't feel this is the case in this situation. I feel like this person is really looking to the future here and going, I need something different and I want something different, and he's planning. Okay. But I don't feel it's in, and I may be wrong as I go down here, but I don't feel it's in the reality yet. I feel like it's in his mind space. Okay. Like he may even be frustrated at the partner, but there's something going on here, and he's footloose and fancy free within the relationship. So he may be given too much rope, and then he's gonna, that's gonna be a problem or an issue. Now, as we end up here on this energetic level, we get the Two of Swords, which is I call it the sashing of the heart. So we have, in a sense, I think, built up in our relationship that we're not very open-hearted. We're kind of closed-hearted, in fact. And it created this page energy, right? Because as the page matures, he gets into deeper and deeper relationships. And I feel like the situation here, it's just like roommates, okay? We got a roommate here, and we shut off our heart and we want something, but we don't even have the presence of mind to put it into view. We're just hoping that something comes in the future that makes it better. And that's wide open. So there's not even really any focus in that area. But we're trying to be strong and stable and sturdy is our goal. But where we're at, we have to get to reality that we're in a pretty immature place when it comes to a relationship stance. We're not contributing. We're not, all we think about is ourselves, and all we do is for ourselves. We really don't go outward in any way. And that's the guy that you might as well send him packing, because he's just by himself. Like I said, maybe have a roommate, and we'd have the same situation. So now we have a situation here where we end on the sash of the heart. So that's closing your heart down, because it's just, what do I need it for? I'm not invested here, and I don't want to be invested. And I don't want to get hurt. So shut her down. So I don't feel it's a harsh, but it's a closing of it nonetheless. Okay. So those are the energies on the side of love and romance. Okay. Now, as we get into the intimacy of the sex, we have 13. So here we go. Okay. I feel like these two cards are very closely related. We're talking about sex. That is the Death card. So we've had an ending to the sexual situation here in a coupled relationship or a single. There's a situation where you can get, it is no longer free and easy. Okay. Now, again, for the coupled relationship, there's an end to the physical side of things. This is not up to par here. And this is created the situation for the Sagittarian male to shut it down. There's no sex, then here we go. I'm on my way out. That's kind of the sense of the energy here. Though he's not got a place to go and he's not really planning, he is starting to, in his mind, think of scenarios where he can be happier. But we're not taking action. It's like he's getting the idea here. Okay. And I feel like, again, the instinct is kicked in, but we weren't listening. And this is what it's creating, a little more of a dynamic situation. So the closing of the heart has to do with shutting down of the sexual center. Okay. And whoever did that, I don't feel it's on the Sagittarian male side. I feel like it's on their partner's side. They're the one that's shutting off. Sagittarian is kind of like, well, that's the end of it. It's like, but yet I feel like all along here, there's been clues and intuitions. And if not, things said outright to let them know there's problems here. So the next card we get is the Knave of Wands. Now, let me tap into that, because that is interesting. If we're talking about the male here, the Knave of Wands is a page. So he is still in that immature zone here, but he's in a fiery energy. So we are not maturing anymore in a romance kind of way. I feel like this guy is mature on some level, but romance and love is not the level he's got it covered in. And the Knave of Wands is about passion, period. But the things that create lust and first sight, a lot to do with passion and energy, but it's temporary, it's fleeting and that kind of thing. The Page of Wands is fire, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And these are action oriented people. Sex is action kind of stuff. So it's wanting to take action in a passionate kind of way. And I feel like that's what's kind of losing. I don't feel there's passion here. It's either waned itself right down to a dribble and now it's shut, the tap's shut right off, or we've just really, there's an ending here of the sexual side. There's no more contact in that way. And the passion is building in this man to want to take it outward, but he feels he can't go to his partner. So this is the situation, okay? So the next card is the Nine of Swords. Now that's where it gets dicey because we have all this passion, right? And then the black cat is a symbol that we can get into some darker areas here and start tapping into things that are not for our highest good. Now, one of them can be going out and getting it in areas. And I feel like that's not so much the plan here. It may even be an addiction to porn. Okay. We may be tapping into porn to kind of circumvent the loss that we have in the real physical arena. Okay. And that would really, that would match with this because then it's bringing on more of that want. And then we still have a closed door here. So where's all this energy going to go? So that's kind of, yeah, we got all this passion and we got to put it forth, but we're kind of locked because the partner's not taking it and we're not going to go outward, right? So we end up here on the Four of Wands, which is interesting. I might have to pull another card here because the Four of Wands is the grounded sex life that we have with a partner that we're happy with, and it's deep and committed and loyal and true and happy and fun. So what's going on here? We go from no sex to dreaming about it to maybe even watching porn to kind of release some of that. And then we get into a situation where we're having it. So does the person give in? What's going on? So I'm going to pick another card. Temperance. Interesting. Temper again. Well, okay, let me look at this. Holy. Okay. So I think what it is they actually do end up opening the door for the partner here. I think they go through a dry spell. Okay. And then they end up having it. And it's like, wow, because, it's been so long and yada, yada, yada. But there's still something wrong here that neither one of them in the partnership, I'm feeling coupled, is dealing with. Okay. We're going to have a stretch over the summer, or maybe it's been stretching and we're in the summer when it gets back, it stretches back. The elastic snaps and we got to watch ourselves because I feel like there's problems on both ends here and nobody's talking to nobody about it. And I don't feel that there's going to be an energy to do that. I think tempers will flare first. Again, we're dealing with stuff in a very immature, childish kind of way. So there's tempers going to be flaring and it's like nobody's going to get to the bottom because they're just going to be dealing with a lot of angry energy, combustible stuff here, right? So another thing is too, like the 13 is the Scorpio energy. So if that's what's in charge here, you may have a Scorpio partner or you may be on the road here. Just give me a minute. Where you're at the beck and call of this person in that way, in a sexual kind of way, okay? I feel like there's not other energies, but there's other areas where you are very much in control on your own. But in this area is very much put into place. There's someone in charge here cutting things off and turning it on. So that may be a control issue for the other partner. Okay. Now, if we're in a single situation here, we got to watch because we got partners abound here. And I feel like there might even be a situation where we're going off and we're really getting into, we may have an addiction here to sex. Okay. Because of the temperance telling to cool it. Or we may be engaging in too many partners here where things are getting confused. Because that's really the stream I'm getting for the singles, right? We got to watch because there's a lot of negative energies around that we can tap into, and they're in alignment with. So we're in a negative stage. We're attracting negative people, and they're going to do negative things, and this is what's going to happen. So it's not good on singles. And on the couples, we're at the mercy of the partner to turn on and off the sexual tap here. And that's not sitting well with the Sagittarian male. He's not happy with that. So his mind is drifting, starting to drift at this point. So what he does with that, I guess we'll see. Now, I have gone horizontally across, so I'm going to go vertically with all of the energies, and then we'll open up and see what comes out here. Because I went vertically, I take everything down, and a lot of stuff can be illuminated. I'm going to leave that card out, that extra card I pulled, the Temperance, which is interesting in itself. Because we start with the Temperance, and we end with the Temperance. So there's a balancing that this Sagittarian male really has to do with his, and they're going temper again. Like he's getting too fired up too quickly over things that don't matter. And he's ruining the rest that does matter. And that's what's going on here in a nutshell. Okay. So we're going to go back over the energies, first card of each line here, and see what comes out. So the Temperance. We have to look. I feel like the ending is because they're not tempering themselves. They're not dealing with the anxiety. They're just avoiding. Okay. And on the outside, I feel like they've got it all under control, but it's just brewing. It's just brewing for a big blowout is what I'm getting here. And that's really what's coming down here. There's an ending to something, like I said, with sex here, but I feel like it might even be a long-term partnership. Okay. Something that wants to come out, but no less, this Sagittarian male knows what it is deep down. He just doesn't want to face it. So there's an ending here, and he's looking at that and disregarding it, but it is coming. I think the disregarding is coming quicker. And like I say, it's not going to be in his control how he deals with it. It's going to be, because we got that Tower card, it's going to be out of his control. So the first line, we're dealing with our temper. We're trying to temper things, we're not doing it. We're having anxiety and stress because we're not listening, right? And that's that internal, not clock, but internal meter that says, no, we're not dealing with this properly. We may look like we got it all under control, but the end is coming. And we've let you know this on an internal level, but as we continue forward. Okay, so those are the first level energies. Now, second level as we move down. Number 2, the High Priestess, and that is that instinct that they're saying we have had instinct all along. We've been pushed aside, brushed off, disregarded, and downright stomped on. That's what they said. They're downright, there's a lot of energy to push this instinct out of there, and we did all that we could in that way. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is how hard that Sagittarian male is working to keep that instinct away, because he does not want to deal with the consequences here. And he figures he has it all figured out, but I don't know that he's correct in that. Okay, now I'm getting the confusion from the inside, because he's running from an internal clock here. I predict that person's going to do this if I tell them that. And so they make their prediction. Now, their prediction is not on instinct, okay? They're going, oh, I think they're going to do this. This is not an instinctual, but there's real life, grounded, what do you call that? places where they're getting instinct for that, disregarding it, and then making an intellectual prediction that they're going to do this, and that's wrong. The prediction that they have intellectually that they think, they're kind of sitting there going, oh yeah, they're going to do this, so just wait. It's wrong. It's the wrong point of view. So they're working hard to invest in that, and we haven't even blown it outward yet. They're working hard to kind of prepare for a bad result when, yeah, I'm seeing it. Okay. I see it, but I don't quite understand it. But the bottom line here, the instinct not being looked at. In fact, it's being worked hard to go in a different direction. And then what's happening because of that is there's a duel here. There's something here that is going to be sacrificed for something else, but I feel it's not going to be in a good way because we're not following our instinct. We're not learning. So there's something that's going to be lost here. So we're going to feel a sense of sadness, and it's going to be shocking to us because it's not what we expected. Okay? Not what we expected. It's going to be kind of a 360 to where we were looking. And then we end up with the Knave of Wands. Now, how does that tie in? And that's that dream of the future being good and great and wonderful, right? In the bedroom. So maybe there may be a sense here that there's a Sagittarian male kind of sitting back on his heels. The sex life is not going so good. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to deal with it. Their partner's not going to talk about it. They're just going to say, no, I don't want to. And nobody's pushing any boundaries. Nobody's talking about it. And they're waiting for this to happen. They're waiting for the partner to come back in passion and say, okay, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of an illusion because nobody knows what the hell's going on here. Okay. That's the sense I'm getting. We're kind of living in an illusion and prefer to do so, is what I'm getting. Because the instinct is here. We're working hard to put that away. And then there's struggles coming up because we're not listening to our instinct. And we're going to keep dreaming about the day that they're going to come around. But it's, meanwhile, nobody's dealing with anything. So that's really, there's a really, I don't want to look at it. No, I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to go there. And they feel very justified in doing that. That's why they're hanging on for so long, okay, in this area where they're not following their instinct. Now, the next card is that looking forward to the future. So that's that hanging on, a miracle, because it really would be a miracle, wouldn't it? Or a crash from the heavens, because neither person is making the other person aware of why or what is going on. And we may have some inklings here, but nobody's dealing with it. Like I said, we have roommates here and they don't know anything about the other partner and they prefer it that way. It's kind of the sense. I don't want to know the details. Well, this is your partner. So let's get in here and figure it out. So the next card we get is the Tower. We're looking forward to things happening, and guess what? It's going to be happening, but not the way that you wanted or planned it, and in a shocking sense as well. Okay. Then we have the Page of Coins, the Page of Pentacles. They're going, he is not a knight and nor is he a king, but he is a page, and that we have to mature through our levels. So this Tower moment is come down to help us do that. It's gonna either bust up the relationship. Like I said, it's not gonna be anything that you expect. It'll come out of the blue because we are looking. Look, he's looking over there, and the Tower's behind him. He has no clue what's coming. Okay, and it's because he's listening to the wrong thing. He's facing the wrong direction here. Just doesn't see it. So that's that maturity level that we have to step up to. Well, step through and past, right? So, they're going, add the other sex card. So we have that looking towards the future. The Tower is going to show them who's to and what's for. Then we have the Page of, Page of Coins, showing this is where we are. We got to bump up to a knight here. We got to get on a horse. And this is the energy that, there's some energy here wrapped around sex. This is where we're at. We're having sex here, but we're not all invested. In fact, there may be somebody taking advantage of that. And then they're going, add this card, which is, this is the way we want it to be, but this is the reality. Okay. So the reality is we're having sex, or we could have been having sex before it slowed down, but it's not the way we want it to be. And it's creating a darker energy here that I feel like the male is investing in. Now he's dreaming about a time when we can get it to the fun zone here, but it's not in there. And in fact, it may be even cut off. And, if that tower, it may be cut off because someone is leaving in a shocking way. They just don't see it coming. So the next line here and the final curtain is we start out with the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is about things coming at you. Instinct was the line that we had in the beginning. Things coming at you, just disinterested. You're not going to take that route. It's not satisfying for you, right? Because of that energy and not listening, we came to the Ten of Swords. So in essence, what this is saying to me is that we've been pushed, we've been whispered to, and they're going, oh, what? No, never mind. They keep going. Then we've been talked to, and they're like, oh, no, I'm not going to take that advice. And then we've been pushed, and this is the shove. Now we're starting to feel pain here for disregarding those things that are coming to us intuitively. We're disregarding all those thoughts, the good ones. So now we've been through the pain. Like there's step by step here. We're going. They can't do that. They can't go from a whisper to, swords in your back. That is built up. That is resistance on the Sagittarian male's end. So he's getting it. He's just not getting it. The info is coming through, the red flags, all of that, but he's not listening. Okay. So we have that Ten of Swords energy saying we've had an instance in the past already that brought this situation to a head, and we still put it on the back burner. Now, what happened during that time was he just shut his heart off. He just said, that's it. I'm not going to invest anymore emotionally. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to continue going forward. Hey, MK. And so we have, like, again, a stubbornness to invest in any instinct whatsoever. And then we end up here on the Temperance card. And that's, they're going, it's understandable here that we would shut the heart down in this situation. It's understandable because it's hurt, it's pain, but we got to deal, we got to cry it out, and we got to watch the way we go forward here, because the intent here is not for the universe to shut these people down so that they close their heart off. It's to open them up to see the reality of the situation. And if it's time to go, it's time to go. And if it's time to discuss, it's time to discuss. Because I feel like the Sagittarian male is really resisting discussing any feelings. And you never know what the partner may be sitting on the other end of the table. They're feeling the exact same way. And you guys can settle this in a day's conversation or a day's, overview. And neither one of them are coming forth. So they're both locked in a situation where they're unhappy, but neither one wants to talk about it with the other. So kind of an energy. We got some unhappiness here. They're not letting me tap too far into the partner, other than to say there's an ending that has come from this partner that is on the lighter end and giving them a red flag forward here. We're going to have some stuff. I never heard good stuff. Is that a compliment? I just give what I get, man. I don't know, like some of it's pretty harsh today. I went through the Scorpio energies here. It's pretty harsh. And I try not to leave anything out so that everybody's open here, open-eyed. That's really my goal, is to get. So again, for the Sagittarius male, there's a turning point here. I feel he's just not taking the exit, and he needs to in order to be fulfilled, but he's not taking that exit. He's going, I'm not listening to my instinct that's telling me to go. I'm going to sit here and suffer, and I'm going to make everybody around me suffer as well. So don't even think about it. So this is just the negative rabbit hole he's jumping in. And I mean, he's getting burrs and stuff he's putting in there, thorn bushes. And I mean, he's just getting worse. Like I said, there's a lot of anxiety here. Where'd that go? There's all this anxiety building up, and that's your instinct. Like, that's more than your instinct. That's your body starting to weaken because we've got so much stress about this area. We got to deal with, but no, we're not dealing. Okay. So that's the situation. Okay. For the Sagittarian male. Now I'm going to overview the energies here and we'll tie it up. Now, the overall energy for this man in his mode is going to be, I got things I got to organize. And I feel like that's more on a work level because this man, right, his heart is kind of shutting down. So we're not making that a priority anymore. I don't know that it ever was. And that may be the problem, right? But we're going into organization mode. And this is going to help us because we're going to feel renewed and revived from doing that. There's going to be a sense of accomplishment that comes from, and this is the distraction outward, right? There's going to be a sense of contentment come from this renewed energy coming from the organization that he takes and the action that he takes, therefore, you know, because men are very action oriented. If they get things accomplished in a physical way, they, you know, there is a sense of release there. And then we end up on travel. So we may be taking some time to travel. Now that brings a different essence here, knowing what I know through out here, because we get into organizational mode. And this may be all in avoidance of all this personal stuff, by the way. So we organize, say at work, you know, we're in charge of people, or, you know, we just get in there. We decide we're going to just change things around. That renews our energy. We feel accomplished for that. And then the travel card comes. It's summer. I'm going to take a vacation, you know? Okay. Take it easy. Okay. All righty. Sorry. I feel energy behind that. And it's like this person's in a hurry and it's just funny. But it's not funny. I mean, people in this situation, man, they're dealing with real stuff. But they're not. They're kind of getting into a zone where they're going to be in dreamland here over the end part of the summer. I feel like this Sagittarian male is getting into some organization, some distractions, okay? And this is where he's gonna do. But traveling too is a highly aspected and whatnot. Man, you're killing me here. But anyway, you lighten up my afternoon, man. See, that's how far behind I'm. Okay, so that's the energies for the Sagittarian male for the summer of 2018. And again, wish him all the luck, but we're just not, he's just closed off and stubborn in a stubborn kind of way to instinct. And so we can't make progress. So what's going to happen is the universe is going, oh no, we're making progress. And it's going to be against the grain. Thank you very much. Because we've been in there and in little red flags, we've been in the push, the shove, and now it's like the bat over the head. So it's going to come from an area that we're just not seeing. And that's the thing. He's not going to see it coming. So it's going to have the impact no matter. He can sit here and watch, but he won't. His energetic field will not be in here. This is why I'm kind of laughing, because the energetic field will not let him get in here to get warning of this. Because we need the element of surprise to get this dude to wake up. And it's going to be a doozy this time because he's already got a few pats on the butt. So some change here is going to happen, whether he likes it or not. But hopefully he opens up here and you know, we'll see. Anyhow, take it easy. Take care. What's my tagline? Take care, have fun, and be kind.